Now I'm going to show you how you can install the MobilePilot on this beautiful Frauscher boat in less than 15 minutes, and the first step is removing the passive wheel. Before installing the MobilePilot, the first thing you need to do is to remove the passive wheel. Normally the passive wheels have a cover, which we need to remove. Some have, the cover is screwed to the steering wheel, and some are just stick by pressure. So we are going to remove this one. After removing the cover, you have access to the nut that can be two types, 1/2 inch or 5/8 of an inch normally. And then we need to remove it. Now I set these three long screws, and what we need to make sure is that they are just flat with the surface, flush with the surface. So these plates are in parallel. Now we will take the central screw and screw it to the front plate, and this screw will be the one that will push on the shaft and make the force in parallel to the steering wheel. Now the screw is all the way in, and I use the nut that was loose to guide it, and then now we need to apply force. Okay, now we apply pressure on the screw, and then you'll hear a click and this will get loose, like this one. Okay. Next step is fitting the locking plate, and the function of this plate is to lock the fixed part of the motor. So normally on the boats you either have a cover or you have a pump, and in some pumps you have screws. In that case, if you have screws, you only stitch it on and then screw the plate onto the pump. In this case, we don't have screws, so we use a Velcro, which is pre-holed, and then this Velcro will be installed here, and then the counterpart will be installed in the locking plate. Advisable to clean the surface before you stitch the Velcro. So we clean it a bit with alcohol or similar, and then we stick it, and it's important that this is horizontal. Next step, we need to install the adapter. Normally the adapter comes pre-installed with a 5/8 of an inch screw. On this boat we need to identify which one it needs, and it needs a 1/2 inch screw. So now that we identify this, we need to remove this cover and change it with the correct nut. And now we will replace the nut with a 1/2 inch and replace the cover. Now that we have the 1/2 inch nut, we can install the adapter, the shaft adapter. So we need to make sure that the key is inserted on this hole, and then we need an Allen key number 8 to firmly screw this on. Okay. At this stage, we are ready to insert the steering wheel, and the installation will be done. So we need to remove the cover to be able to insert the screws, and insert the steering wheel. And now we need to make sure that the bottom is straight and now is holding on the Velcro. Okay, so this, we will install it with these two screws. So you need to make sure that you put the washers in, especially the rubber washer, so it doesn't get loose. Okay, so once the wheel is in, so we need to hold the position, the longitudinal position of the wheel with these screws, and then you have to choose the right one for your boat. In this boat specifically, we need the 60mm one. In some boats, you need the 50mm one. When you choose your screw, you have to make sure that it has the right washers in, especially the rubber washer, so it doesn't get loose. And now we need to make sure that the screw attaches correctly, and then strengthen it. This screw doesn't need too much force, only the sufficient to hold this position, and that doesn't have a wibble, and the rest is done. You can remove these four screws, which will remove the chrome part, and then you can put the wheel so the boat is on course, on this position, okay? And then finally, we put the cover on, and we are done.